Welcome, and look what the mailman brought me today. So this has been on my wish list for my collection, I'd say, for the past several years. And the only reason, so you can buy this on Amazon, you can only buy this on eBay, and it's international. And I was weary about buying this remotely. So by the way, today I'm shooting outside, so if you hear dogs barking, my neighbor's dogs are very, very lovely. Anyways, let's get back to the radio. So the first thing that you notice about this radio, this really, really cool box. And I wish I had boxes from like Texan and from Redicus, but this is by far the best looking box of any radio that I can remember. Even Syngene radios, they come in a plain box. This is just fantastic, really good marketing right there. So this is XHDATA D-808. This is their company's flagship radio. They have the radio vowel that's one of the best small cheap radios on the market, but this, I think, one of the best high performance radios in its price range. So later on I'm going to post a video and I'm going to compare it to some of the higher end radios. So let's open it up and see what's inside. So all right, so very nice box. So let me get this going so you see my plants in the background. All right, look at this. It says if you're happy or unhappy, and then it gives you this little card and says listen to the world, and it says thank you for your purchase. So really neat. Okay, we got a manual. So the first time I saw this on YouTube, I couldn't believe it. So this is a fairly complex radio that you can program. It has SSB and a lot of other functions. And look at this tiny manual. This is quite comical. Now, I will say this. Once you use one radio, you pretty much can get used to using all the radios. So the functions of this radio are very close to Syngene. So if you are used to using the 909 model, 909X or 909X2, you're pretty much good to go. But anyways, the manual is literally would have like 5-6 pages. So not much to use, and the last page it just gives you the frequencies. So very interesting. All right, what else comes in the box? We got a little external antenna, as you can see. Goes in your window. This goes into the radio. Very neat. This is nice. Like, so if you go travel, you can bring this little antenna. What do we got? We got a charging cable. So this uses a micro USB cable. This radio is rechargeable. So inside this radio, in the battery compartment, there's a little plastic tab that you need to remove in order to use the battery. It took me a few minutes actually when I first received the radio. I had a mini heart attack because I couldn't figure out why the radio wouldn't turn on. So all right, so and one last thing, which is, so this sells me all the time. I'm old enough to remember the old days of Sony Walkmans and Sony mini disc players, and I always thought that it was such a neat idea for Sony to have this really cool looking pouches. And it's something that I thought that the radio industry should have caught up to by giving those pouches. And this really takes me back to like Sony Walkman. And I actually have a Sony Walkman pouch like that in my drawer, one of my drawers that I use to keep my power banks in. But this is really cool, and it just really makes the radio, just from, not even from performance, but from the appearance standpoint. My wife commented, she said, wow, this is really neat. All right, here's the radio. Very, very solid build, So on one side we see an external antenna port, we see the volume and the headphones jack. On the other side you have the charging port, the fine-tune button, and the tuning knob. Big display. It lights up quite bright. Let's see, you won't be able to see it obviously in the daylight, but it is a bright. It's very similar to Radio Wow, which is one of the brightest displays I've ever seen. And you have your navigation here, so very well built. So we have a battery compartment, and you got your rechargeable battery. So the little plastic flap is actually on this side. It's right there, and that's how you know So just again, I am just emphasizing, this is just an unboxing video. I'm gonna do a performance video, and I'm gonna compare it. So I'm gonna compare it to 909X. I'm gonna compare it to Texan 880. Probably will compare it to 660 model as well, I'm thinking. And then I'm gonna do the Grundig or the Texan Satellite 750. So this will be my comparison. I'm gonna use the MLA antenna for comparison video. But here's your radio. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I will follow up shortly.